Watching this movie has been the biggest pain in my ass, I swear to God. Yeah, no pun this time. It really has been insanely difficult to watch this movie. Every time I would sit down, something would come up. My son would come home from school and immediately launch into a dissertation about Pokemon or My Little Pony, or I would need to go to a doctor's appointment, or family would come over. Something was always happening, so I couldn't watch this movie that was suggested to me like 3 weeks ago. But finally got into it. So let's talk about this one. And I gotta let you know, this one's gonna be like full spoilers from the jump because it's real hard to talk about this movie without getting into that stuff. So today, Funny Games, the US version, was the one that I was suggested. Um, Shockingly, that one was a little bit more difficult to find streaming than the original, I think it was Swedish one. This movie is beautiful. Like, Michael Hanke, he is an amazing director. Like, just the shot composition alone makes this worth watching because just setting up the shots and letting things play creates an absurd amount of tension. Like, it shouldn't work as well as it does. I actually got stuck on one shot because even today, this movie got interrupted, but I was already almost half an hour in. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to keep pushing through. But I was on this scene. This was paused while I was on a phone call for like 20 minutes. So I had time to analyze the entire thing. And I'm just like, oh, this is a really elaborate cuckolding scene, isn't it? Like, we even have the cuck chair. And the club can only be implying one thing, especially with where it's positioned. It's not subtle, but it's effective, damn it. This is basically a home invasion story. Plus, our point of view characters is just this family that apparently is very well off because they're going up to their house on Martha's Vineyard. And they're going to be up there for a week or two. Must be nice. We see our antagonists within the first minute of the movie. We don't know who they are. We just like we see them interacting with the neighbors. You can tell something's a little off, but it doesn't really seem too weird because having people come up and try and talk to you while you've already got other people there, it can always be a little bit awkward. We see them like get into their house, everything's cool, and then one of these two dudes shows up. And the thing that would immediately like set me off was just like he says, "We met. I came over with Fred, who was the neighbor." It's not the same guy. They look similar, but they're dressed differently. They are obviously different guys. But trying to be polite, they just breeze right past that and gets into the house. And then the other dude shows up a few minutes later. And it just becomes this slowly building tension that literally just works off of how being polite can get you killed. That sometimes you need to set boundaries and be able to actually enforce them. He does try to enforce a boundary. It does not go well. Tim Roth's character. Naomi Watts is really like the lead. Like, Tim Roth is in the whole movie, but like all of his acting is literally just the reaction portion of it. Like, he doesn't do anything to push the story forward. Actually, even Naomi Watts, she doesn't really do anything. The antagonists are the one who are moving the story forward. Actually, not even that. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's literally just the clock that is moving things forward because they keep checking back to the time. It's like, what time is it? It's 8:40. It's midnight. They're just keeping track of it. They have a running clock which they set up earlier in the movie. I know a lot of people have a difficult time with movies where there's kids in danger, and if that is the case, you definitely need to skip this one. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You need to skip it. Like, you don't see it happen, but you see the after effects, and it is everywhere. Should be more than enough to get the point across. But I mean, the kid is actually like the smartest one out of like the family. He actually at a certain point is able to get away. He is smart enough to like take the long way around to get out of his house, to try and make things more difficult for him to be found. Gets into the neighbor's house, finds out what happens to them, and we already know. We realized this like a little bit earlier, but at least one of the antagonists, I think it is just the one, Peter, he breaks the fourth wall, and he looks at the audience a few times. He is making you an accomplice by breaking the fourth wall. He is bringing you into this whole scene where these people are being tortured and maimed. And yes, this movie is totally on doesthedogdie.com, and it is not in the no, the dog doesn't die category. A lot of this movie it has a lot of themes. One of them definitely is our want to watch violence makes us complicit in the violence around us. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that, but I understand the point that you're trying to make. But as I mentioned earlier, like there's a cuckolding theme as well, and that definitely like flows through the whole movie. I'm not sure how to describe it. It becomes very like once you see it, you can't unsee it. They just don't go the full nine with that. They don't get into that part of violence. They just go with the actual like beatings, stabbings, shootings, that kind of stuff. Just your good old American mom and pop violence. Dogs made me lose my train of thought. They don't bring it up directly. They show the idea that if you yell for help, people won't come. Like even though like this apparently is in the middle of summer and people should be in their summer homes, at least some of them, and gets out of the house and she's going to the houses and she's screaming for help, nobody comes. Nobody turns on a light. It just becomes somebody else will take care of it. Whereas if you yell fire, they will all look and they will all like call 911 because everybody's worried that their house is going to burn down. One more thing I wanted to get into is that these characters, the antagonists, are aware that they are in a movie. I mean, in addition to breaking the fourth wall, at the end of the movie, they have a whole conversation about Watsonian versus Doylean narrative, letting you know they know exactly what's going on. And at a certain point, they even rewind the movie, which very much brings into question how many times have they done with just this family? Like it's set up that they've done this with multiple families, but how many times have they done this with just this one to get it to go the way that they want it to? That's an awesome idea to just drop in this movie. It's seeded a little bit, but not as deeply, not to the extent that you find out they actually are aware. This was an awesome suggestion from VampX13. Go to Amanda's channel. She does comics, cosplay, does some gaming streams, and it's just a good time. But she suggested this one to me, and I appreciate that. I'll be back with another one tomorrow.